jump.
We have seen one that made that jump. Bull.
Yeah, which I still don't
get. It was also
get.
an AD carry, and he came up and made a difference.
He actually did. That's still my favorite part of this spring's timeline. Absolutely mind-boggling to me that Bull, of all players, is doing as good as he is, and we'll see if Samver and Paulo are able to have a similar level of performance.
Gonna ban away the Nautilus.
Yeah.
Which...
I wonder if they want to like prioritize an Orianna and are expecting the Senna to come out. That would be my main read on this, as Gideon's Lee also going to get banned away. Unsurprisingly, the Lucian is going to not be given to T1 because it makes the early laning phase very unfun. Orianna would be the other big one here. It's going to be the Kalista instead. T1 have very often just opted into a B1 Orianna. Milio is another one that I think our top tier teams rate a lot higher than some of our middle to lower of the pack. It's just going to be the Orianna. No surprises there. No real shock. And we obviously do hope that this isn't answered by Azir, but I am...
Or Zyra Khan.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too great about it. The Senna does actually get picked up, so in that light, the Nautilus makes sense. And I will not speak, because if I speak, it will be pretty...
Caitlyn? Caitlyn Lux responds to the Senna as Keria is shaking his head. Probably about something else, I would imagine.
Yeah, this is why we were kind of afraid coming into this matchup. There's a lot of teams that will see the Senna and handshake with a scaling or outranging pick. Lux Caitlyn does outscale, but it's also one of the most impressive lanes that basically doesn't allow you to make any mistakes. So Samver and Paulo in their first game going up against the Caitlyn Lux of Guma and Keria. That's not going to be a very fun time. I assume, or we assume, that the Ornn is going to go with the Senna, but obviously we don't know for a fact.
Yeah,
that's going to be the case, but it is the most likely.
The Ornn is very good in the bottom side into Zyra Khan, if we, you know, the Senna Ornn combination, because you basically just ignore any of their roots or anything, and you're just very tanky. They don't do enough damage. I would imagine that Caitlyn Lux at least is going to push him out of lane relatively easily. But let's see how it goes.
I wouldn't have hated the Seraphine here. I think Seraphine does a much better job of kind of neutralizing a lot of these lanes, and she has a ton of innate wave clear. I think for Ornn that is a lot harder to do into Cait Lux. We'll see what ends up happening as two of Oner's favorites. The Rel and Nocturne are going to get taken away. Also, both of those are incredible with the Orianna. Jarvan would be next here, is my expectation, but maybe we'll just go to Sejuani instead, although for T1 their synergy isn't really there. I'm sure Zeus will just play Aatrox again, so at least you'll have Permafrost in that lane, which they can utilize to great effect for some of these early to mid-game skirmishes.
What's it going to be? Got a pick for Gideon here. The Jarvan does get selected. And as you mentioned, Zeus with the blind pick. Will he just go towards that Aatrox? Or will we see something else? And what is Oner playing? Especially with yet another jungler taken away. I think Poppy is probably fine. Briar is not.
It's not real.
Oh no. Oh no.
Zeus saw that King got a lot of attention. He's like, no! Not allowed!
Not another one. Not in this match.
Yeah. I'm going to be feeling a bit rough about that one. Again, T1 follow the trend. It's going to be Poppy or Sejuani. That's mostly what we have been seeing. And not too surprising if that just ends up being the setup here again.
Doesn't want to play Poppy, but he's playing Poppy.
Doesn't have a choice. As Morgan could go for the Aatrox here. Has just been a both a blind and as a counter pick. It's been fine. I think Aatrox is very player dependent. Also, basically confirms what we already expected. This is the Senna Ornn here in the bot lane for Brian. Then good luck, Samver and Paulo. Those first couple of levels are going to be crucial. If you fall behind early on, Poppy is one of the best early divers in the game. Makes it really hard to consistently find any angles. And I know Senna's level 1 generally is great, but into Cait and Lux, I think that they might struggle. And if they make one or two missteps and the health bars go low and Oner path spot, game might be in a sharp deficit before. Yeah, I'm seeing some finger snapping here from VODS, and that is kind of how it feels.
Yeah, T1 don't mess around when it comes to, you know, rookies get called up. They don't go easy on these players. They come in, they have a job to do, and they get it done. We have seen in the past that sometimes they go for interesting stuff in the drafts, you know, and sometimes go for some picks that are not necessarily top tier and try to win with those anyway. But this time I feel like it's a relatively respectful draft. I do think that the Caitlyn Lux is going to be quite good into the Senate lane, and everything else works out very well. Just curious to see if OK Savings Bank Breon has got it in the tank. I think we're going to know from very early on in this first game exactly how the series is going to go. So guys, let's jump onto the rift for game number 1.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
VODS, I just want to make sure. Did I hear some disparaging comments towards AD Cannon? In what you were like, oh yeah, sometimes T1 take risks. Are you trash talking Terminus Cannon?
Yes.
Oh, I can't believe you would do this. Unacceptable.
Yes.
I would.
I
almost forgotten about that.
Yeah, I just had to remind everyone that it did happen. That's not the only example, but
no, there's more. But that was my favorite one, personally.
Yeah. Faker's just gonna say hello here. Gideon by himself. Of course, he just wanted to come in here and put down a ward, and that he will. Oner gonna go to his Raptors probably, as you do. Poppy pretty fast at clearing the jungle as well with her AoE capabilities. And Gideon's gonna get some help here actually from Morgan. So nice little leash there. I do worry, you know, again, I wasn't sad about the Cassante because I don't think he's strong. I was sad because I think he's too strong. And we'll see what happens in this game. Zeus generally one to show off with some flashy picks, especially his Yone, which he is very famous for at this point. But yeah, instead he might just do it with Cassante this time.
And I want to highlight as well, I think that what to me really is the thing with Cassante is that if you look at how Keen played a lot of it, it's that play that's in everyone's mind, right? Keen basically 1v3ing. He did actually play it really well. Like he dodged a lot of skill shots, continuously like was able to isolate targets and whatnot. But at the same time, with any other champion, he would have like got maybe one person, perhaps two. That would have been the end of it. So it takes away. It's just all about the champion, and that's also why we don't like Corki. As
hey, look,
guess what? He's here, but look at that, Gideon. He's a knower. He's aware that this might be happening. He's covering already for the first crash.
Yeah, and Oner's going very deep into that jungle. Just going for the wolves at this point. He might be like, oh, where's Gideon? Well, now he's about to see him. Gideon got to be careful not to go near any walls. He is going to go near this one, though. As Oner, not scared to take this fight. The flag already used here by Gideon. And no collapse comes in because they don't have any prio from the bottom lane or from the mid lane. So at this point, Oner can just do whatever he wants. This is what Peanut used to do as well when he was on Genji.
I was about to say, is he going to follow? Like, is he going to cross over? At the same time, though, I think you take this if you're Breon, because Gideon did actually get his...
Okay.
I take it back. You did not take that.
Trying to get on top of Zeus here, and they might be able to kill him. Yeah, that's pretty easily done. As Gideon immediately from the Wolves just ran straight to the top lane and is able to take him out.
So there's an upside here. Palu does have TP. So he makes his way back to the lane very, very quickly, which is nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I'm sure we're going to see a replay, but that is unfortunately not what you want to have happen, because I think Gideon actually did a good job, both zoning off Oner, gets his wolf, and then makes his way towards the top side where he punishes a proxying Zeus. As, Oner, no. They know, though.
Yeah, Gideon knows he is here. As now Karis is able to come on over. Oner still level 3, and he is able to taxi onto the Azir and push himself out of the jungle. Just trying to put on as much pressure as possible. He's not going to win that smite fight either.
I mean, Oner is spending a lot of time. His top side has been up from the get-go, right? Like, this is actually going to be a lot of lost gold. He also still needs to back, so Gideon actually pulling out ahead there in the 1v1. Now, the good thing about this for T1 is that with them knowing where Gideon is, the play working out isn't really a necessity because of what is happening in the bot lane. We're currently looking at about double the CS picked up. As we take another look at this. And yeah, you're a level down, and Keria might get hit by the knockup, but you will also get rooted and promptly die. As really nicely done here actually by Gideon. If he doesn't hit the flag and drag, I don't know if they can 100 to 0 CC chain him. So good job on that. It's Feldas, we're 3 plates down almost at 5 minutes 30. I was worried about this with the Ornn.
Yeah, I mean, Keria and Gumayusi, they have done this to pretty strong teams as well. This isn't only, okay, we're going to come out here and style on bro or anything like that. They come out with this, and we saw their win rate with this is 7-1. Yes, they're a very winning team, but this is one of their most confident duos of champions, right? That they have brought in, as now trying to make a play on the Faker, but no Emperor's Divide is used.
Yeah, I think Kars tried to psych out Faker, force him to flash, and then they can do a follow-up gank. But Faker is ice cold, does not choose to use it.
I mean, you can always wait until the
animation
starts and then you flash. So,
and he just didn't. Yeah, this is why I would have really liked to see something with more wave clear. I think there are picks that you can go for that can. Seraphine is the most notable one, but there's plenty of other ones that actually get to do a good job at clearing the wave from range, so that this doesn't happen. Like, you'll still get bullied, it'll still be a tough laning phase, but...
Okay.
There we go.
Faker forced to flash himself. Root does come down, there's a trap underneath him as well. That's the end. Apollo again. 0-2 at this point, and now 4 plates going into the hands of Guma and Keria, and guess who's here now? Samver does have his flash available. Just gonna cleanse it first, but now he is slowly on the run. Oner not giving up, trying to force the flash, but Samver will be ice cold himself and not use it.
Yeah, but still gets zoned off. And I don't know what you expected, right? Like, Senna Ornn specifically just doesn't... Even if this was piloted by 2 like top-level LCK players, this is a really hard matchup. You basically don't get to make mistakes. These guys were just called up from challengers.
Turret's gonna die at 7:30.
Yeah.
Is that legal? Are they just allowed to do that? Is that okay?
This is what you opted into. I think to a certain extent at least.
Uh-oh. Here we go over here. That's a long wall to drag him over. But now Gideon's here once again. Zeus a little bit more fed at this point in terms of items, but it's not going to matter as he will be taken out as well. So Paulo's 0-2, but so is Zeus.
And Gideon is actually playing well, right? He's observing this early, absorbing rather this early pressure. As we take another look at this, yeah.
That's what the combo does.
That's how it works. Try to deny the full CC with his W, but didn't actually end up getting it. And then here, it's a good punish, right? Gideon was already making his way over, so I think this gank works out no matter what, unless Zeus somehow gets to really utilize his ghost towards the top, maybe some alcove gaming, but instead, he looks for Morgan, who is 2-0. And if it wasn't for the state of the bot lane, I'd be like, okay, bro, looking good. You know what's going to happen instead? Is Guma and Keria are going to rotate to the other end of the map. Yeah. And they're going to do the exact same thing with this turret.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if you really want to dive. I mean,
don't need to.
Yeah, like it just feels risky. Like you could just keep them here under the turret and get more plates instead. As oh, he might go down. Okay, Palu thankfully gets in front of that. But yeah, Samver's not even level 6 yet. So yeah.
And reality is he doesn't die, but he also doesn't get to do anything.
Yeah.
This has to back off. He's going to miss out on a ton of XP.
Oh no. Well, that's the binding to come in. Ignite used on a Keria. Don't think he cares too much about that. As
No,
he
he's
is
not
looking
giving
for
up.
more. Yep, might as well. Flash comes through for Palu. As, again, he will live, just like Samver, but again, that turret's going down.
Yeah, this might be some of the highest amounts of plates take. We might be on some record tracks here, Veldas. I'm not going to lie with this Caitlyn Lux.
But bro, we're going to get the dragon.
처치했습니다.
Yeah, they're cross-mapping well, but...
Yeah, Well, it's not going to go down just yet, but on the next wave it will. As you do see that Samver has gone mid now. And that's something you can do on the Senna. You don't have to stay in this lane with the Ornn. But Gumo will be given this entire plate, or turret rather. And yeah, now that's 2 turrets with all the plates gone already at 10 minutes.
It's a 4,000 gold lead in the bot lane, Veldas.
Yes.
It's 10 minutes in. 4,000.
Yeah.
And guess what? Now they're going to run mid and do the same thing.
Of course. You should. Guma running towards mid as fast as he possibly can. And yeah, I do think part of it is certainly the choice of, okay, well, we see the Caitlyn Lux face up, but we had a, yeah, everybody's oohing and awing about Gumayusi's gold. Very true, he is very far ahead. Makes sense. But, yeah, with the Caitlyn Lux face up, the Ornn was not the pick, but still, I'm not sure if another pick would have helped too much, to be perfectly honest. Because it is kind of a Challenger League bot lane that is somewhat... They're being thrown into the fire here, okay? Against one of our best bot lanes in the entire world,
They're being set on fire, they're being thrown into lava.
Oh.
Okay. And then, I don't know, add more bad stuff.
Yeah. So, it's not going to be good feels in the bottom lane for Bro. That's for sure.
Bob Morgan is fed. He is fed.
Yeah, he is.
He does actually have a lot of gold.
Oner could just, yeah. Oh, look at that. That was pretty slick. I like that. With the knock-up, just denying the flash away. Also the shockwave coming through. But Cars does get away anyway at the end of it all. Samver and Palu are once again matching them in mid. As it feels like nobody else can really match them, though. So it's kind of like lose-lose situation. Like, what is an Aatrox going to do into this
Yeah,
game?
nothing.
You know? So if somebody has to match them. It has to be the duo.
Yeah, there isn't really any other way out. As Keria has gone for Slay, surely to just further accelerate this game.
Gotta go fast.
They might actually get 15 plates. Or sorry, yeah, no, they would.
I mean, the only way this gets stopped is if somebody else comes here in the mid.
But they have both subs. Like, they have both subs available, and Oner is playing still heavily towards them. They have really good vision control as well. And because their bot lane is so far ahead, and they permath prio in at least one lane, there isn't really any big response. Like, Bro is going to have to basically flip a team fight. But with so many sums available, your execution is going to need to be flawless.
I mean, you've got Ornn, you've got Jarvan.
Yeah.
I feel like at least force the summoners. At least, like, give them a little bit of relief in that duo lane. You know, put some pressure on. But, it's difficult. It's not an easy position where there's, like, a lot of vision control for T1 as well, just because the entire map basically is winning. Including the mid lane. Faker ahead about 20 CS. I know this entire game has been about the bottom lane, but does deserve noting. As Morgan is pretty far behind here. He is going to be all-outed by Zeus and nearly just taken down, if not for everybody. Once again, just piling into the Cassante and taking him out. Zeus now 0-3. And now Faker coming on in, and that will be Keria to take a kill in the trade.
And you'll take that as Bro, I think, you know, 1 for 1. Senna gets some gold. That's something. I don't know if the...
I just think it's really funny that Zeus is 0-3
in this game.
Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, no! Well, that's a lot of flashes that were just pinged.
Hey, they didn't get every plate.
True.
You know, they only got 13 out of 15.
Only 13 out of 15.
I mean, the game isn't over. If Brion gets to give or take 35, 40 minutes,
Yeah.
that's a team comp. You know,
Sure.
you got Orn
Yeah.
giving out the ornaments. You got Senna who's stacking. I don't know how many stacks Samver is on, but given how little auto attacking he probably has been able to do, I don't think it's going to be very inspiring.
Yeah. Never say never.
Never say never.
DRX, they won in 2022. That happened.
Atlas lost his hair that one time. That happened as well.
Yeah, that also happens. You never know.
The bros are never going to give up. Surely, VODS.
Yeah. They're going to chill out. They're going to try to turtle up, as you do. We don't have Hex Tech or Infernal Soul in this game.
New Soul?
New Soul.
New Soul, new Ossus Gideon. Can he steal it? No, he cannot. I was ready for the handoff, VODS.
It's Cloud Soul.
Just thinking about how quick Keria with Slay, Shirelias, and Cloud Soul is going to be.
Well, they are going to press their buttons here. The Jarvan goes over the top. Faker does not have flash, and you know what? They're going to get him. That's a nice little pick off in the mid lane. The Rift Herald is doing insane amounts of damage to that mid lane, by the way, as now they've got another. They've found Oner, as a ton of burst damage does come out here, though, from the bottom duo, and they do take out Karis.
And a 1-for-1 trade in isolation is going to feel good, but a little disjointed there from Brion. And while that was happening, they lost 3 turrets, which is not ideal. We'll see if Gideon gets to make his way out of here. Keria's chasing. He's so fast.
Wait, what? He's so fast. Look at this Lux. What's happening? Okay, well, Jarvan, he just does flag and drag, and he will get out, but it was pretty funny. As now, trying to go for yet another turret. Of course, they did get 6 Void buffs, so that just means these turrets will go down even quicker.
Rapid fire cannon now done here for Guma. And we sort out the amount of investment necessary from Brion to get a single kill. As we take another look here, Herald does get used, and Oner just is Faker is getting dope, and he's just going for a joyride, VODS. His mid laner ends up going down, but again, throughout all this, there are 3 turrets that end up being taken. Zeus gets top, they get mid inner and mid outer, and it's still a 1-for-1 trade in the end, even in kills here for T1.
Yeah, good stuff. Trying to steal the red, and they will. Keria gonna take that one down. And it just feels like suffocation at this point. You know, it's only been 8 kills, but a lot of the damage has just been done to structures. It's been a lot of PvE. It's been a lot of stealing of jungle camps, taking over the entire map, taking every objective. And that is what T1's comp is doing with Caitlyn Lux specifically.
So Keria did go for Morello, so you can argue that that is not a very efficient use of gold. And thus, the gold lead that T1 have is somewhat deceptive.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. That must have been a misclick. Doesn't matter for the game, so...
Yeah, you can see his face. He's kind of smiling. He's kind of grimacing. I mean, what can you say?
He's like, yeah, man. I'm having a tough time, VODS.
Yeah.
Talking about this game.
No,
I'm
that
not
makes
gonna
sense.
lie. He went Shirelias first, and he's leading the damage chart.
Yep. Yeah, again, I'll say it. I said it before. This isn't just a, okay, we're going to counter bro and we're going to, you know, style on him with a fancy bot lane. It's like these guys have played this duo 8 times before.
Yeah, no,
and it's one of their best duo picks.
Yeah.
So, and it's really good into Santa Orange. So they really kind of just had their cake and they got to eat it. And they also had a glass of wine as well. Some nice cheese, perhaps.
Okay, you lost. Okay, so the cake sounds good. What type of cake are you eating that you want to follow it up with wine and cheese?
I don't know. It's a nice party.
Cheesecake? Wait, Guma might be in trouble here. A flank? But you know, Poppy's there, so they can't really.
Gotta try something. I do think that Bro are getting a little bit paralyzed, and it makes sense, right? Given the game state. Gideon is he's still here.
You got to go for the Hail Mary, right? Try and get maybe a shutdown. Oh, Guma is alone.
Guma's alone.
Does have Ghost and Flash.
He's on vision. Press that orange button.
There we go.
All right. You're going to force the flash. Oh, the predict. The predict from Paulo.
Oh!
They take it down. Karis with the kill. Huge.
That's how it starts, Valdez.
Oh. Wait, Binding comes through and Gideon's down. And now we got a Shockwave. Everybody's flashing away, but the Sun Turret is up. Gonna help out with that. Keria really just has no chill. Flashing on in. And they're not quite able to dive this turret though, so that'll be the end of that.
That's how the comeback starts, Valdez. You get the kill, you get the shutdown. Karis' itemization gonna get accelerated. It's only a Cloud Soul. Right?
Yeah.
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 Guma is alone, and is it a predict? Was it Guma flashing into an Oner ult? I'm gonna give Paul the benefit of the doubt. He deserves it after what he's been through in this game.
Hell yeah.
And a big win. And I do want to reiterate, you know, it's a 6k gold deficit, but eventually if T1 doesn't take Baron, which it is T1, so I do expect that at some point will happen. Eventually the Senna, Azir, and Ornn combination is going to really do great work in team fights.
Yeah. I do think that they kind of came into this game and they had a plan and they said, okay, let's try it out. You know, very nice, well-rounded team composition, very team fight focused. And we'll just play it out and see what happens. You know, we're not expecting to win, but we'll try our best. And they had to run into Caitlyn Lux, which did not do them any favors. But you are right, Chronicler. There's always a chance that if T1 are maybe a little disrespectful in their play, or if they don't, you know, if they cut some corners or something like that. As we know, T1 are going for the Baron here. Bro do know about this as well.
Look at Oner's ultimate. Gideon can't be allowed near this pit.
Yeah, and he was on vision there for a moment. Palu with a nice angle on the ult is going to draw some people over to try to deal with him as T1. Still vision in that pit, as now the knockup's coming in. Karis is just, oh god, he's 100-0. Goodbye. As he will go down, and the turn finally comes through from the side of T1. As they will respect this one. Nice knock up here from Oner. Deny on the dash, and that'll be a second kill now for T1.
And we'll see what T1 wants to do. Might try to push on here. Wave is coming in. Or whether they decide to go towards the Baron anyway. Doesn't look like that is on their mind right now. Instead going to push. Health bars are a little low. Faker is tanking.
Yeah, they're just pushing through the turret. They don't even care. They got that root onto the Ornn, and they were following up on it. But it is just going to be the inhibitor going down. As Zeus is still getting in there, just trying to take out Samber. And that was not going to work. But Zeus has been through a lot in this game. As he has his head on his hand there for a moment. And the Cassante play doesn't work out. He's not that OP, okay? Like,
there's limits.
Calm down a little bit.
Now, what I'm wondering is, Cassante is dead for 30 seconds. Do Bro do the thing? I think they have to. I think you go for it.
Do the Baron.
They gotta do it. Oh, I think he gets to the back. Oner doesn't get to back. Is Poppy, so we'll be able to make his way out. But they have great Baron damage. Jarvan, Flag, and Azir.
I mean, yeah. Absolutely send it. That's another binding. They're trying to turn here on a Faker, but no follow-up. A little bit late as Gideon is going to go down, and the damage isn't quite there. Faker's arm guard, and the massive wombo comes in finally from the side of T1. As Zeus is given enough time to also TP back on in, and that's a triple kill for Guma. And Samber going to be sniped, but he is going to survive.
Love that. Actually keeps his perfect KDA alive by dropping the ward so he can get the Q off. I do think that's the end of the game, but you know, Samber,
hey,
he did well. Then die. Bro, they went for the big play, and I think they had to, but
I think they should have just flipped it.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, just flip it. Don't even turn. As T1 are going to, yeah, also just boost those damage numbers as it is 18-1.